Hey, what's up grinders? I am Zard and it's time for PvP teams for the week 12 of Season 0. We start from the Bay of Stars that has an elf restriction this week. The team I prefer to use here is this kind of team. Deep Huntsman up top explodes magic +1 green or purple gems 10 curses and webs the first enemy. If you lose this troop, it has 100% chance to summon a tomb spider on death. In the second position we are using the Ruby Macaque to deal that pretty massive AoE true damage. Because this is a full elf team, those true damages are going to be heavy. And in the third slot we are using Arachnia Weaver, who webs all enemies and deals magic +5 true damage to the last two enemies, and if the enemy dies, explodes 15 gems. Also has the Creeping Doom trait that has 75% chance to summon Web Spinner when an enemy dies. And also the Impervious and Stealthy, of course, help. In the last slot we are using Morgandessa, who starts empowered and converts yellow gems to green to feed Deep Huntsman up top. I'm using Archer class to get 50% start to our hero, and the Hunter's Mark, Root Trap, Nature's Aura all help. Let's try this team quickly. Um, do we have a conversion alignment? We do over here. Let's cast Morgandessa. Now we could explode the board. Only 6 purple gems, but hopefully we explode those green gems, which happened. And our troops are up. Now we are checking for extra turns. Nope. Then we cast Ruby Macaque, followed by Arachnia Weaver cast, which will cause an explosion. And by the way, those pre-battle stat points are a little bit bugged. I had 55 pre-battle, but now I have 85 true damage. That's massive. Bye bye. There's a summon, but that's fine. Let's do another Arachnia Weaver cast, followed by Ruby Macaque or a Skullpoke. There. I pretty much like this team, but of course I have another one if you don't have the Ruby Macaque. Here we are using team that I got from my guildmate Rain. Rain is a great team builder. We're using Spider Drone up top. Starts empowered, has the stone skin trait as well, and converts brown gems to web gems. Those are purple, they feed our weapon and Arachnia Weaver. We are also using Morgandessa to convert yellow gems to green to feed to Arachnia Weaver. Arboreal Crystal explodes magic +1 green gems and grants random status effect to all elemental allies and then summon an elemental if you lose troops. We're using Orb Weaver class in this case. Root Trap, Dusk's Aura, Stealthy, Elven Sentries and Rising Shadows. Very good talents in the tree. And so we are basically doing just true damage with our Arachnia Weaver, and we have 3 mana generator to feed Weaver over here. Let's try this one. When we are having 2 empowered converters, we usually are in a good position to get some kind of alignments, except though in this case we don't have any extra turns. If we take that, then we have a alignment over there. Brown to web gems. Let's do that. Now we check extra turns. I don't see any quickly, and we could explode the board. And this weapon also summons a leaf storm when you cast it. Now let's do that damage over there. We are going to explode the board if we just get our turn there. Any alignments? Any alignments? Nope, nope, nope. We take this. Then we could take... Wow, pretty bad board to be fair. Brown to purple, yellow to green. Wow. Let's take that. Now we finally get rid of enemies and explode the board. We do this. Now we really have some work to do because that one troop over there is barrier. Or has the barrier there. And I think this is a match. Wow, that took a little bit of work. Anyway, that's the team for the elf restriction. Winter's Reach, again restricted by Stormheim troops, and I'm not going to take battles over here. This is the team I've been using a lot in my videos, and the other one is also something that I've been used before. I'm going to link the team codes in the comments of this video, so you can copy paste these from there if you like. We move on to Aidania, that is restricted by blue troops. We fight against Solid Snake, and this is the first team. Stalrix, Wand of Stars, Prince Elfet, and Essentia to give 50% start to our dragon and summon a light storm at the start of the battle. This is a result of some testing, but I quite like Elspeth in the bottom. We are casting Elspeth on herself. She starts empowered and creates 11 gems of a chosen ally's mana core and kill them and then summon a night troop. Right. I've used this one before as well, but let's do a quick fight. Extra turns, there's one, except nope. There are demons who exploded my extra turn. Let's see if we can get an extra turn by casting Elspeth on herself. We got our dragon is up. Can we loop? We can't, but let's do. There's an extra turn, and that's a match. Yep, Stelrex is very great troop. If you don't have those fancy troops, I have this other team for blue restriction. It is this one. Little bit of prepping for some guild wars if we ever get one again. Double empowered B team. Unsinger purple to green, Molgandesa yellow to green. Feed Beatrix and we deal pretty heavy through scatter damage to enemies. Hopefully loop. If we don't, we can explode those green gems on the board, summon a leaf storm and summon troops if we lose some. And I prefer to use elementalist with this team. Usually, back in the day, I like to use archer, but elementalist is just very good. Do we have alignment? We do. Over here, yellow to green. Let's do that. B is ready to rock. Do we want to take some extra turns first? Yes, we do, to get those status effects to enemies. We didn't loop, but we can convert purple screen back to B. Let's see if we can loop now. Yeah, working pretty nicely. We need one more cast, and this is a match. There. And then we move to Ancient Khet that has a new restriction. Human restriction. Very, very welcome. We're fighting against Bauer, and this is the team. We're using Holy Saint Astra up top. You can give some life and armor to allies, create Lightstorm and enchant all humans. Also, the main reason for using Holy Saint Astra is that Inspire Hope third trait that all human allies start with 50% mana. We're using Troll as our mana generator, has the magic link that always helps, and we're using Tesla and the Ruby Macaque. Tesla deals true scatter damage boost by all ally and enemy armor. We need one Tesla cast and followed by Ruby Macaque cast, and that should be a match in most cases with my stats, of course. Let's try this first team. The main problem with this team is that sometimes there isn't any purple matches, and that is going to stall a little bit. Like it's just like this. We have only. Wow, this is amazing. Let's take this, and we have maybe some purples to pick. There, we have troll going. If you don't have any purples on the board, you can just use Holy Saint Astra when you get her up, and that enchant will get your troll up eventually. But now we are going to deal a cost over there, and let's just hope that Champion of Guard doesn't loop too much, because he has spell reduction and we really don't want that. This isn't a match, but we at least got rid of some enemies. Now, as there isn't any purples, we can just cast Holy Saint Astra, get the enchant on troll. Now we just try to keep our turn and maybe deal some damage over there. Alright, this is a good thing about Champion of Guard. He is only get armor. So now this should be a match. There. Wow, I was a little bit afraid that he's going to buff his life as well, but no biggie. Armor is exactly what we want. Let's check another team if you don't have Rupi Macaque. it's like this. Pretty much the same team, but with Wand of Stars instead. Uh, Ruby Macaque. If you prefer, you could just slap another Tesla over here instead Wand of Stars and rely on Troll mana generation. But as we saw, the game knows when we are using Troll, and it just doesn't give many purples to us. Let's see what the starting board looks now. Yeah, we have actually one. And our Troll is ready to rock. Tesla as well. We do Tesla cost. We explode the board. And by the way, I forgot to mention that in this both of these teams, I'm using Sunspear class that creates a firestorm at the start of every turn. Of course, there is Snap Freeze and Root Trap, those help. But the thing about Troll is that he destroys Magic plus 4 gems, and then if there are 13 or more red gems, he gains an extra turn. For example, if I cast Troll now, there is 15 red gems, we are going to get an extra turn, even if we don't match extra turn. Per se. Tesla cost and enemies are gone. Angry Mob is another gem destroyer that you could use in this region this week, but I prefer Troll and Sunspear. On to the Geheron, restricted by brown troops this week. We're fighting against Obi-Wan Swenobi. Oh, these guys sometimes. I don't know. I'm a little bit tired today. I, I don't know why I find that so funny. Yeah, we're using Wand of Stars up top, Stellarix, Magma Dragon, and Soothsayer, who starts empowered. And I'm pretty sure you know Soothsayer by now. You choose a purple gem, and he will destroy each row and column. It usually gets your Wand of Stars going with a single cast. And against Stellarix over here for that massive AoE damage. And we're using Magma Dragon, a backup damage dealer. And that Magma Storm third trait conjures a Lava Storm when my turn begins. Red and Brown Storm, and that really helps keeping your turn and with the mana generation as well. It's pretty nice to cast your wand on a board full of red and brown. That usually grants an extra turn. And in this case I'm using the Night Weaver class because I want to level it up, but you could use whatever you want really with this team. Let's try this one. So you find a purple gem and just quickly check that those rows and columns don't have too many skulls. Of course you could take extra turns. This is skull. This is a perfect because this row and this column don't have skulls, so this is an this would get our wand filled up from right off the bat. But as there is extra turn, we take that. And now we are casting our wand on the board. We get our Stellarix up. Hopefully we land an extra turn. Ooh, that was bad. Oh, that was bad. But hopefully this gets our Dragon Bug up. Wow. Not running too well today, it seems. Excuse me. And the other brown team I built for this week is... Let me see. Alright, this kind of basic true damage team. Borg up top, inversing Mechanist class to give him a 50% start. The Raking, if we cast this troop on brown gems, all of the troops are going to be silenced, frozen, mana drained, except if they are impervious or otherwise immune to Toast's status effect. Inversing Morthanis Darkness in the last slot that steals life from 4 random enemies. If you lose troops, she can summon Morthanis will. Sometimes that Dead Visage creates an Uber Doom Skull when your turn begins. Sometimes that trait is going to help you. Let's try this team quickly. So, browns or yellows to get Borgi going, and then just some true damage. We take this. Mana Surge would have been pretty nice. And we take that. And now we are ready to rock. We cast Raking on brown gems. Then we cast Ruby Macaque. And now we have to spam the board with Borg to get our troops going. Raking on browns, and this should be a match. Yeah. It's pretty nice team if you don't have Stellarix. Broken Lands, again restricted by orc troops, and again I am not going to take battles over here because this has been a restricted region for so many times. First Mate Axelopper starts empowered, converts blue gems to red, feeds Gornox, who feed Ruby Magog, and you deal AoE true damage over the enemies. If you don't have Ruby Magog, this team works also pretty nicely. Rockguard the Guardian up top, has the Clopper trait, and converts all blue gems to skulls and then creates 1, 2 or 3 brown mana potions, and if an enemy is stunned, there's 50% chance to gain an extra turn. Again, you get your Gornox up, you feed your Rockguard the Guardian, and your writing stuff that deals scatter damage, creates 8 skulls, and tankles the first enemy. Elementalist is pretty much in this region. The same goes to Summer Isle, restricted by Suncrest troops. This was also a pretty much the same region last week. Harpy Mage conjures Duststorm, and then you choose an ally and she will explode magic plus 1 gems of one of their mana colors. Starts with 75% mana, and as we are using red and yellow banner, just red or yellow 3 gem match will get Harpy Mage up. And we're using Staff of Storm in the second position, explodes yellow gems, grants a random status effect to all Strix allies, and then summon a Strix troop if you lose some of your troops. We're using Sunspear class because it helps with the mana generation and feeds Ruby Rat mainly. Pretty heavy damage to all enemies, and Ruby Aura gives 2 magic to all red allies when matching red gems. And Hekatal starts empowered and converts blue gems to yellow. Right? For the other Strix team, this is the same team I used in last week. This is okay if you don't have those fancy troops. Harpy Mage again up top, then Nimbus Bow, and a couple of these Harpy Night Song troops that deal magic plus 5 true scatter damage. If there is a storm, she deals double damage. And for the storm, we are using Stormcaller class. It conjures Light Storm when your turn begins, and also as we are using one of these Kingdom Mana Generator weapons, all of your troops are Strix troops. Right. And on to the Maraji Expanse that has a Demon restriction. This is also a new restriction. This hasn't been a restriction for any of the weeks so far. This is the first team. We're using Merilith up top, who deals 6 true damage to all enemies and then destroys magic plus 3 gems and gains some attack. Has the Fire Link that gains bonus red mana from red gem matches. Scourge of Honor deals magic plus 4 true damage to all enemies and then gains 2 mana back for each cursed or diseased enemies. Omen of Nature explodes a green gem at the start of the battle, and the unique third rate Rat Swarm curses and diseases a random enemy when matching extra turns. Again, we're using Ruby Macaque here in the third slot for that true damage, and in the last slot we are using good old TPK that has the unstable position trait, explodes 2 random gems on extra turns. That is basically the only reason why we are using Possessed King over here. As we are using the Sunspear class, we don't have any Lightning Strike or anything that explodes, so it's pretty nice that when you mash those random extra turns, the board is going to explode a little bit. That tickles my nipples just in the right way, you know? Let's try this thing. Everybody loves explosions, alright? Woohoo! Get your Merilith going by matching red or green gems, like that. Then you just spam the board if you just get your turn back. The Sunspear trait really helps getting your Rat and Ruby Macaque going. We deal AoE true damage over there, then we do a Ruby cast. And the good thing about Merilith is that as those enemies don't have too many HP left, we could just go and spam Merilith as long as they are gone. Like this, and one more. This. Because, again, she deals 6 true damage. If you don't have Ruby Macaque, I have a Void Dragon team. We are fighting Rhino, and this is the other team. A double empowered Void Dragon and Doomed Magi. Eldritch Minion starts empowered and converts brown gems to purple, and if an enemy is cursed, he will gain half of his mana back. Then we are using Bane of Mercy, starts empowered and converts yellow gems to purple, and also gives some attack to the first ally and inflicts curse on all enemies. So if you can, cast Bane first and then Eldritch, and Eldritch is going to get half of his mana back. So our empowers are feeding the Void Dragon, who deals magic plus 2 damage to all enemies, boost by blue and purple gems on the board, and then creates 9 to 13 purple gems. Void Spirit gains 2 magic when matching purple gems as well. That's pretty nice. The more you loop with this troop, the more magic you are going to get. And here we are using Doomed Magi. One of these stuff doomed weapons that are pretty nice if they are tempered to max. This weapon creates 4 brown gems and plus 1 gem per tempering level, and then gives magic plus 1 armor to all purple allies. And if the enemy has a doom, eliminates all armor from a random enemy. We probably aren't fighting against too many dooms. Yeah, absolutely right about that, because we are fighting against demons. Using Orb Weaver, it has the Root Trap and Dusk's Aura. Stealthy of course helps, and Rising Shadows can do some favors to you from time to time. Let's go and try this team. The Doomed Magi, even though it creates brown gems, it also conjures a Dark Storm if you have tempered the weapon enough. Do we have any alignments at all? We don't. Well, oh, we do. There, and it's a big one. Let's do that. Yellow to purple. Now we could convert this actually to get our weapon up as well. Get more purples on the board. Now we try to loop with our Void Dragon. Let's see how that goes. Looping pretty nicely and almost a match. Couple more. Yeah, baby. That was nice. And if you like to gamble a little bit, I have a third team for this region. It's a Web Spinner and Eye of Arch teams. There. So, Web Spinner has the Lethal Toxin trait that deals triple skull damage to poisoned and webbed enemies. He also has the Snare trait that inflicts web when doing skull damage. Okay? So, Web Spinner is going to deal very heavy skull pokes. Eye of Arch has this Eye of Distraction trait that creates 2 Doom Skulls at the start of your turn. So if you have 3 of these, you are going to generate 6 skulls every turn. And if we are lucky, those skulls are going to match automatically, and Web Spinner is going to absolutely butcher these enemies. However, these kind of teams can backfire. If those skulls don't align and there are only 3 gem skull matches on the board, you might actually lose your Web Spinner, and then you have to fight the battle with your Eye of Arch troops. Let's see, there is things happening. We do that. Enemies are gone. We do that. There is pretty nice alignment, and that's a match. Yeah. Sometimes it works pretty nicely, but sometimes it can actually backfire. Trust me. And the last restricted region this week is Southwild, restricted by purple troops. And for the purple, I prefer to use Troll, Stellarex, Wand of Stars and Leprechaun. And I'm using Nightweaver class to level it up. Let's do a quick battle and then I show the other purple team, for those who don't have Stellarex or Wand of Stars, for example. We explode the board with Leprechaun. And our dragon is up. Let's see if we can loop. Yes, we are, and that's a match. See, this is why you really want to have Stellarex. It's incredibly good troop. But it's also pretty hard to get, I get it. If you don't have fancy troops, I built this one. Venoxia, Doomed Walk, Spirit Dancer, and Leprechaun. Venoxia deals magic plus 4, true damage to all enemies, and creates 9 green and 9 blue gems. Okay? Then we're using Doomed Walk as a backup damage dealer. This is the last Doomed purple doomed weapon that we got, and this deals magic plus 5 damage to the first 2 enemies and plus 2 per tempering level, and creates 2 purple gems for each purple ally and enemy. Right, it's pretty good damage dealer and mana generator combined, and I think you should have this, you know, if you have played this game for a few months, let's say that. And the Spirit Transfer in the third slot transforms a selected mana color to green and summons a Spirit Fox. Also, if a troop is summoned, she has the Call of Nature trait that summons a Leaf Storm when an ally summons a troop. Right, and we are using Archer class to get that Leaf Storm going. A Drew Trap of course helps. Let's quickly try this team. Although we are fighting against some troops that whip, and that could be a little bit of a problem. Let's see how we fare. Let's explode the board. Because of the Leaf Storm, Venoxia is going. And now we could convert brown gems to green with Spirit Dancer. Let's do that. Venoxia is back up. We are going to leave these extra turns over here and just trust that Venoxia is going to connect extra turns. Which happened. And this is a match. There. I think that's about it. Hopefully you like some of these teams. Let me know in the comments if you have some killer teams. And usual stuff, comment, like, subscribe. Has us off. Peace out.